Welcome to Live Trivia with Community Media. I'm your host, Eliza Jane, with my co-host, Jeff Cook. Hi, Jeff.
Eliza, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. You have a nice week?
I certainly did. Did you?
I did indeed. And the countdown here, March 23rd, we have an exciting panel. Why don't you introduce our special guest?
We have Keith Wolf. Hi, Keith.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Wonderful. How are you?
Fantastic. I can't complain.
We are so excited to have you here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, currently I'm crew chiefing in the Nascar Xfinity Series with BJ McLeod Motorsports. We've been together now, maybe about 7 years. He had a truck series team. He moved to Xfinity Series a few years ago, and now he started his first cup level team this year, which is going very well for us. But yeah, in a nutshell, I travel around with the NASCAR. I call it circus. Some people call it circuit. But it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it, but I enjoy being home for these 2 weeks off and pretend to be a farmer. I'm going to raise some lambs tomorrow. Going to bottle feed some lambs. It ought to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, you're a native of Hanover, a graduate of Southwestern High School. So it's amazing how the electronic age enables you to be at home and still be connected with everything you do professionally.
Absolutely. I went to college for computer science, and I worked for about 2 months in a cubicle, and I quit. I couldn't take it. And I went back to racing, making probably a third of what I would make in the IT world. But it all came full circle, and I get to use it again. Pretty cool.
Yeah, sometimes just doing what you love is more important than making a little extra money.
Yeah, I couldn't take it. It'd drive me nuts.
Well, let's meet the rest of our panelists as well. We're going to talk to Keith some more, of course, but Pete Sox is here. Thanks, Pete.
Yeah.
How are things in the municipal world?
Going good. Quiet. That's a good thing.
That's good. Corey's here, outdoors, getting some vitamin D.
Nice little fresh air today, so absolutely.
And Greg Weaver is here, our own Ken Jennings, or should we call him Sir Bag?
We should call him Sir Bag because
Sir Bag.
he was in disguise last week.
Wow. Well, talk about multitasking. He attends a meeting and casually plays live trivia, and it just happens to win
Under a pseudonym?
Yeah, Bag of Hammers. I mean, we were all totally stumped, so quite an accomplishment. Just extending the bar that much higher.
Yep.
Well, I wanted to make sure that if I got distracted and I totally lost, it wouldn't affect my record.
Yeah, well, and Chris is here. We had a shaky connection, but Christopher, are you ready to give Greg Weaver a run for his money tonight?
Yeah, because that's what I do every week.
This week is your week, Christopher.
Kermit's still back there. Okay, good. I just want to make sure that Kermit was still in the picture.
Well, we are going to dive into trivia.
Yeah, let's may the better contestant win. Let's tell everybody how to play at home.
You dive onto www.communitymedia.net/trivia, and it is the same link every week. So save that on your Safari, your Google browser, whatever browser you use, or save it on your phone. communitymedia.net/trivia.
Yeah, you just need your phone, nothing else.
Nothing else.
7 seconds away. Let the games begin.
Uh-oh.
And I can barely hear Eliza.
You can't hear me. Oh, I know my voice can carry. In 1989, what Disney duo started a detective agency called Rescue Rangers? Alvin and Alex, Bert and Mert, Chip and Dale, or Huey and Dewey?
Well, if anybody takes Alvin and Alex or Bert and Mert, they must not have any kids, that's for sure. Chip
That's
and
my
Dale.
era.
92%.
That was a soft toss. All right, question 2. Corey with a quick response.
Yeah. Quick
And
fingers.
Greg Weaver lurking.
Wow.
Number 2, if you order poutine in a Canadian restaurant, you'll be served a dish of French fries and cheese curds topped with A, brown gravy, white gravy, mayonnaise, or ketchup. Poutine. Canadian specialty.
I like the Jeff.
Putin is the Russian Chief.
I
I'm
never
sorry. Go ahead, Greg. What?
So I like the GIF. I think that's how a lot of Canadians feel about us right now.
Brown gravy
Brown
is
gravy.
correct. Obviously, everybody's had the poutine. Greg Weaver shoots to the head of the class.
Ooh.
Job, Greg.
As of 2021 Tokyo Olympics, which of these martial arts is not a medal sport? Judo, karate, taekwondo, or aikido? Is that how you say it? Kaito,
That's good.
aikido.
I'll take
Sure.
that.
So, yeah.
Erica.
Aikido.
Aikido.
I have no idea. I'm not
I'm clueless.
martial arts
Yeah,
guy. It might be a
clueless.
surprising answer
You know,
like judo.
karate is one of those ones that has a lot of different disciplines, but it's a key.
Yeah.
Keto.
Aikido.
Aikido. I think judo's
Beard has
just brand
jumped to
new this year.
first.
Wow.
Yeah.
Way to go, Rachel.
Beard. Unbelievable. When she's in London, where does Queen Elizabeth II reside? Buckingham Palace, Kensington Palace, Tower of London, or Windsor Castle?
I
When
recall
in
we fought a
London.
war, so we wouldn't have to know this kind of stuff.
Lovely matching hat and,
She's wearing a brooch.
yeah.
Do people still wear brooches anymore? Side trivia. When was the last time you saw someone wear a brooch?
Buckingham Palace.
Gambled and lost.
I don't know. Wow.
Beard
Beard
Rachel
maintains
Beard.
first. In what year did Delta become the first American airline to ban smoking on all worldwide flights?
Wow.
1987, 1991, 1995, or 1999?
And if you're on my age, you can remember when smoking was allowed on flights. It was unbelievable. I mean, and for that matter, in the halls of justice, you could smoke in the courthouse too.
Hospitals?
Hospitals, yeah.
Right
What's
after you had a
bad?
baby.
I've been on some
Restaurants.
airplanes that still have ashtrays on them to this day.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, a lot of folks.
Don't look now, but Katie in the lead. What year was that? I didn't even see the correct
I
answer.
didn't either.
What
Only got
small
12.
country can you rent for $70,000 a night on Airbnb, including customized street signs and your own temporary currency? Is it Liechtenstein, Malta, San Marino, or Tuvalu?
Yeah.
I think Liechtenstein's a little too big for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
70
I think it's
grand
San
for
Marino or Tuvalu.
no.
I guess Tuvalu, but
Tuvalu. Good process,
Really?
but wow.
Liechtenstein?
Wow.
Liechtenstein
Sure.
or
Oh,
Steve?
okay.
Like a fly.
Rachel Beard.
She is on fire.
Surging.
This is the flag of which European country? A, Denmark, B, Iceland, C, Finland, or D, Norway?
I know it's not Sweden because that's not one of the answers. And I've been to Iceland, and I don't think that's the Icelandic flag. I'd say Norway.
This one's tricky.
I'm saying Finland. but
Most
it's
people
Norway.
went with Norway,
Most people did.
but it is
Ooh.
Iceland.
Iceland.
Nobody got it right.
No
Wow.
one got it right.
No way.
Rachel Beard holding in first.
Well, I'm dropping.
As of
Rachel
2020,
Beard,
which
point
country
out
has
video.
won the most cricket World Cup titles? Australia, England, India, or Pakistan? Cricket World Cup titles.
I feel like it should be England just because they invented the sport, but
Yeah.
it's then everybody could run or swing a bat to Australia. at
Everybody-
some point, so.
Wow.
Wow.
Australia.
That's impressive.
Beard maintains first.
Things are tightening up. All of a sudden, Corey
Corey's
on the
in
board.
second.
Man,
Often served cold, what grain are soba noodles made from? Go ahead, Jeff.
Amaranth, kamut, buckwheat, or oat? Kamet or kamut? I say kamut. You
say
say
kamut.
Only one I know
kamut.
is buckwheat.
I say demut. You say.
I've never heard of the other two, A or B.
Oh, amaranth was a kind of flower.
Buckwheat, the most popular answer, and
That's
correct.
buckwheat.
Wow,
Finally, I get one.
that's good.
Buckwheat sounds like a
It's
whole
the
grain.
Japanese word for buckwheat. Who
Wow.
Who knew?
Buckwheat sounds like a little rascal.
This is, wow.
Be more in second, Molly in third.
As of 2020, all of the countries that use the shilling as their official currency are located on which continent? Is it Africa, Europe, Asia, or South America? As of 2020, I think it's kind of a trick question.
It is.
As of last year.
Yeah, because you would say, oh, Europe for sure, but what about the euro? Most
Actually,
people
wait a
went
minute.
with Europe. But it's
Whoa.
Africa. I think just for that
That one right.
reason. Wow. I didn't know what it was, but that's, and Rachel Beard's still in first. Hallelujah.
Why?
Australian rules football is played on a field of which shape? Diamond, oval, square, or triangle?
I know this because in the early days of ESPN, they used to show Australia rules football. And it's a gigantic playing field. It's much bigger than a football field. And it's not a rhomboid or, oval.
Most went with oval.
Yeah, a lot of people knew that. Maybe they had the same remembrance. Big field. Molly, back in first. Welcome, Molly. Greg Weaver, are you playing as Molly this week? How often does the FIFA World Cup take place? Every year, every 2 years, every 3 years, or every 4 years? The
My
FIFA.
kryptonite.
Sports is your kryptonite, Molly?
My kryptonite.
I don't know.
They
that's
make
not
a video
sure.
game every year, so.
Yeah,
True.
I think it's every 4 years myself.
Every time another name wins other than
It
Gregory,
is
I
every
think that's
4
his
years.
pseudonym.
Should have used a pseudonym tonight.
2022, the next World Cup. Dubai, maybe? Or
Wow. Dubai would be
Bacon
cool.
moves to first.
Bacon is in the house,
Yeah.
and you're so proud.
I am proud. Popular in the American Southwest, a pie consisting of chili and cheese is often served in what snack food packet? Cheetos, Doritos, Fritos, or Tostitos?
Does the picture help at all? The photograph there? I don't know if that helps at all.
Yeah.
That helps a
That
lot.
doesn't help me.
Actually, you can make it with Doritos and a little
Fritos.
Fritos.
Yeah.
Very good.
If
Corey.
I come in last, it's gonna be bad.
Which of the following is not a defining characteristic of a reptile? Cold-blooded, fertilize their eggs internally. They have no backbone. Their bodies are covered in scales or plates. If you've ever watched two snakes mating, then maybe that would help you answer the question.
Got any input on this, Kermit?
Christopher's asking
They
Kermit.
have no backbone. No wonder they're so cowardly. Yeah.
Be more moves to first.
It's a family affair.
At 19, which American theme park holds the record for most roller coasters?
Whoa.
Six Flags Magic Mountain, Six Flags Great American, Cedar Point, or Kings Island?
Now, is that Bean on the
I think
video?
That's Mr.
I think
Bean.
that is Mr. Bean. That's
Mr.
probably not a
Bean.
hint.
He's not looking so well.
No. Not having the time of his life.
That was a lucky
Six
guess.
Flags Magic
Such a good
Mountain.
variety
I
of
ain't taking
questions
credit for
tonight,
that
Jeff.
one. That was a lucky guess.
I know it is, and I'm glad I'm not playing. It's very difficult.
Laura is in
These are rough
first.
questions,
That's
guys.
probably why the
Referred to as the
Popcorn.
crime of the century, carpenter Bruno Hauptmann was convicted in 1935 of the kidnapping and murder of the 20-month-old son of which famous American? Franklin Roosevelt, Charles Lindbergh, Mae West, or Buster Keaton?
I still think it was a setup.
The whole thing,
No, I think Hopman.
the execution of
framed.
Bruno Hauptmann was staged. Charles Lindbergh, Lucky Lindbergh, not so lucky as far as that story is concerned. Greg Weaver, fulfilling his destiny and his dream.
Of the original 7 wonders of the ancient world, the only one that you can still visit today is located in Egypt, Greece, Italy, or Turkey.
Tell you
Of
what
the
the 7
original.
wonders of the ancient world are. I thought the Parthenon was one of them, but
69%.
Egypt, the Sphinx, the pyramids. I mean, one of the pyramids, I guess. I don't know.
Laura
You
Holdings
don't have
went
to know
first.
that. All you had to do was know the
Sphinx,
country.
I believe.
As of 2021, the continent of Africa is the second largest by area and made up of 54 countries. Which of these is not a country in Africa? Albania, Chad, Ethiopia, or Ghana? This is a soft toss question. So speed is of the essence here.
Speed is of the essence.
Few people got it wrong. Huh? Albania is in Europe. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
I didn't read that. I believe me, I knew that. Laura, stretching it out.
In which state would you find Lake Compounds? I don't know how you say that. Compounds. The oldest operating amusement park in the United States. Maine, New York, Connecticut, or New Hampshire?
I know the answer to
Compounds.
this. My wife actually used to go to this park when she was a young girl. So
where's your wife from, Jeff?
the Nutmeg State. The Nutmeg State. Does that help
The
you?
Nutmeg State.
It's Connecticut. Is the correct answer. Yeah, Lake Compounds. Her grandfather used to run a locomotive. You know, he had a train ride. He was the engineer. Claim to fame.
I miss Williams Grove, dang it.
How many octaves can a standard 16-hole harmonica play? 1 octaves, 2, 3, or 4?
Whoa.
Our musician friend was here tonight. He would know this one.
Yeah, I'm sure it's more than 1, I would think.
I would think so.
Bob Dylan can play, 3 or 4, I'm sure, at least. 3 was the most common answer, but it's 4 octaves.
4 octaves.
That's amazing. Laura and Greg within 80 points of each other with B more third.
This is the character Philip J. Fry. From what adult cartoon series does he belong? King of the Hill, Futurama, American Dad, or Bob's Burgers?
Must be, I think it's the same artist as the Simpsons.
Same little eyes.
Yeah,
Not
same
green,
kind of
yeah.
artwork. It's not King of the Hill, I know that, or American Dad. Yeah, most people had it correctly. Futurama. That was just an educated guess. I couldn't tell you. If you said, what show is Philip J. Fry in, I would not say Futurama. Would you?
No.
All right. Guess what just happened?
Oh.
Don't look now, universe. As of the end of 2020, there have been 115 justices of the Supreme Court of the United States. Only 5 have been women. Which of these is not one of them? Amy Coney Barrett, Madeleine Albright, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, or Sandra Day O'Connor? And for extra credit, who was the first? Madeleine Albright was Secretary of State, but was never on the Supreme Court.
We need questions about Faith No More or Quentin Tarantino because I'm getting killed.
Brandon, take note. What year was NASCAR founded? 1948, 1960, 1940, or 1955?
No
think I
pressure,
got this
Keith. No
wrong.
pressure.
Yeah, the world is watching.
Look, I just worked there, guys. Okay.
Well, the great story of the birth of NASCAR, where they were bootleg runners trying to outrun the police. Supposedly
Yeah, and
that's
it
a true
wasn't always
story.
NASCAR, so.
Oh wow.
48. Wow.
Yeah, that's like Lee Petty in his day, probably. Greg Weaver, silently spinning his dream. The Golden Girls debuted in 1985 and spanned 7 seasons. What network aired the show throughout its entire original run? ABC,
Ooh.
CBS, Fox, or NBC?
A good question.
I know Quentin Tarantino appeared on that show as Elvis. I know that.
Is that true?
What network?
That is true.
Okay, cool.
NBC, the most popular answer, and
What was
correct.
NBC.
Yeah.
Well, we only had like 3 channels back then, so.
That's true.
Exactly.
Fox was not one of them.
And I was the remote control, you know.
Michael Jordan helped which school win an NCAA Division I national championship in 1982? The University of Connecticut, Indiana University Bloomington, University of Michigan, or the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill?
Greg, you're
Maybe Bag of Hammers.
Achilles heel?
Maybe Bag of Hammers knows this
I don't
one.
know, yeah.
I'm
Of
feeling
course he
dumber
was
today,
a
man.
Tar Heel.
Oh, lucky guess.
Number 23, Wharton College. But Greg Weaver
Wow.
prevailed.
Pure guessery.
You guessed it.
Very exciting.
Greg, I almost had you this week.
Let's go with the top 5. We're going to announce the top 5 results.
Yes, we are.
Bacon and B. Moore were there, and both family members of yours, so go ahead.
Bacon in 5th, Beatmore in 4th.
Ooh.
Corey with the bronze,
We have Laura in 2nd.
the silver, and our gold medal winner for the umpteenth week. I want to say in a row, but I know he's missed an occasional week. Greg Weaver,
Yeah,
congratulations, Greg.
No, Pete beat me like 2 weeks ago.
Well,
Yeah.
and again,
It
look
was
at
3
this.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
The top 3 qualifiers all had 12 out of 25 correctly, so it all came down to that deft touch of Greg Weaver and the quick
Came down-
response.
How
came
quick
down
you
to a couple of
responded
lucky
to the
guesses and
question.
one was
Yeah.
the winner.
The quicker you respond to the answer, the more points you get. So
Yeah.
it really is
Whoever
how
you are,
fast.
Beard, I'm coming after you next week.
That's what we like. Competition.
Competition. Wonderful game. So Keith, let's talk about a little bit about what it's like to be in the pit at NASCAR. I mean, that
Oh,
must
wow.
be really exhilarating. I mean,
You know, it's pretty. You know, you can't beat it. I'm 44 years old, and I still get to play with cars. So it's pretty neat. You know. Now you know it's the passion, the excitement of the sport. Just the smells, the speed, the all the geometry that goes into these race cars, wind tunnel time. It's a pretty impressive sport in a whole. You know, people don't see the backside of it, of, you know, all the fluid dynamics and, you know, the wind tunnel times, you know, the testing, there's so much more that goes into it. You know, you always hear people like, I can't sit there and watch cars go around in a circle, you know, and neither could I. But once you get to the backbone of it and really see how hard these guys work, and, you know, NASCAR does a lot of testing for NASA. Nobody knows this, you know, a lot of crash testing, a lot of engineering. Hendrick Motorsports did a lot of engineering for NASA and also the military. We actually created, during Desert Storm, some of the belts and the Humvees to keep people from getting concussions from IEDs and stuff. So,
oh wow.
you know, we work close with everybody in the United States, the military, NASA, you know, just a lot of car companies, you know, for safety, because we're the ones out there reaching these speeds that you don't reach on the road, and we can test these things in a controlled environment, which is it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
How exciting will it be to have the fans back again at these events?
It is all about the fans. Let me just tell you, I've always said it, but when COVID hit and there was nobody there, it was like a ghost town. It was like you were testing again. And I can honestly, I miss the fans. Everybody misses the fans. The energy they give off compared to everything else really makes the sport.
And I know the fans will be back. I mean, it's got to be, it's great on TV, which is better than nothing, I guess, if you're a NASCAR fan. But just to be back there and experience the ambience, that's got to be a thrill for them as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty, it's a ghost town. Like, we even have, it's been the owners couldn't come. They had to be in the sky boxes. I mean, we literally cut the crews down to about 4 to 5 guys traveling. You couldn't fly. You couldn't do this. You couldn't eat out, which is all safety precautions. I understand that, but it was tough. I mean, it's tough. You can't. It's hard to get the job done with that limited crew. And we need the fans back. Bottom line, they created the sport. I don't care what anybody says. They keep the sport alive and they keep the energy in the sport. So they got to come back. I'm ready.
Yeah, definitely. So what even got you into racing? Where did you start?
It's funny. My dad mentioned one time, my dad was a 21-year Marine, so let's picture that first. But he was, he always mentioned he used to figure 8 race out in Barstow, California, and I thought he was pretty nuts for doing that. I thought he was pretty nuts anyway. Cool guy. But, I had some friends who were into it, go-kart racing when I was younger. And I started late. I was driving when I started racing. I had this old Ford pickup trailer, if you can imagine that. I took a bed off a truck and put wheels on it, hauled my stuff around in that to Hunterstown Speedway and raced go-karts. And I had a real passion for driving, but I always knew I had more passion for the engineering side and the geometry of it. I'm a math guy. I'm kind of a nerd. But I take that pretty seriously.
So you've raced all the local tracks. Can you kind of like list all the different places you've raced as a youth?
Yeah, and with people, I worked in the dirt road for a while. I mean, I've been everywhere, Hunterstown's always the first one because you're young, you're racing go-karts, Lincoln Speedway, Trailways, Linda Speedway, which, it's just all of them. I mean, you've been to all of them.
Williams Grove?
Williams Grove, of course, But, and they're all still in existence, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Unlike a lot of asphalt tracks.
And they were not only NASCAR on the national level, but I think the local tracks were opening up before there were any other local sports events. So I know race fans were grateful for that.
Absolutely. And, we're all intertwined. The NASCAR community, stock cars, a lot of us guys came from dirt. The majority of us did. And, a lot of us still race dirt, And we're still, the racing community as a whole is probably one of the coolest families I've been able to join,
Yeah, it seems like a nice community, and we're really great to have you here. So where are you headed next?
Okay, it's getting a little dark there.
Yeah, we lost you a couple times.
Yeah, I was like, oh, what should I do? I don't know what to do. So we'll head to Martinsville here in 2 weeks. I actually am fortunate enough I have 2 weeks off the road here. But we're going to head to Martinsville. Stephen Parsons will be driving for me, which is, you guys remember Benny Parsons, who was the announcer forever in NASCAR, and then his brother Phil Parsons, who drove in NASCAR, won some races. Now it's Stephen's turn. He's young. He's 22. He's got a lot of talent. He's got raw speed. Every once in a while we got to reel him in, but he's a good shoe, a good kid, and I just hope he has the opportunity to really showcase his talent.
Yeah, well, hopefully he'll be able to do that for you. Does our panelists have any questions for Keith?
Yeah, it just sounds like his job's a lot more fun than IT.
Well, that's why I quit IT.
Yeah, you don't miss the cubicle.
Yeah, I get it though. But I was just tech support.
Well, it doesn't matter where you're at in IT, you still wind up being tech support.
Yeah, and it's always your fault too, just so
It's
you
always
know.
their fault.
All right, so Greg Weaver, you started out in the depths, and then you slowly made your climb, kind of like a race car driver who passes one racer after another. You just were picking them off one at a time. What did that feel like to slowly, like quality cream, rise to the top of the bottle?
Yeah. It never really hit me until I walked into Bristol Motor Speedway for the first time. And, you almost fall down the track trying to walk down it. And I think that's when it hit me, how fortunate I was. It wasn't, oh, it hit me, look what I did. It's a family. It's given me a platform to be able to, do a lot of charity work for people and actually have a platform, a voice to actually help people for once. And, that's all you really want to do in life. So when it comes down to it, it's about the fans, the kids, and actually having a platform to be able to, voice yourself for others, The racing's awesome. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I love the people in it. But the other side of it is twice as rewarding.
And you have other interests outside of racing. People say you spread yourself too thin, but you do what you like to do. And tell us about some of your other ventures.
Yeah, well, we're all from the area, right? So I have a trucking company in town. We do refrigerated freight with, if anybody knows Todd Peck, who also runs in the Nascar Truck Series part-time. He's my business partner. So we knew racing didn't really have retirement, so we created the trucking company to hopefully, when we're retirement age, which in racing is probably right about now. But we do that, and I'm a little hobby farmer now. I just started doing it the past couple of years. I'm getting some lambs in the morning, so I'm going to have to bottle feed them for about a month, so that ought to be interesting. I'll probably, who knows, maybe the first and the last, or maybe I'll enjoy it. We'll see.
Hey, the sky's the limit. Anything that you set your mind out to do, you can do. I like that.
It's fun, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this wraps up another episode of Community Media Trivia. Keith, thanks so much for being with us. You are welcome back anytime if you want to join us for a round of trivia.
I talked at trivia, but it was a great time.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you can get better. You can play on the road, help you unwind. It only takes 25 minutes. So thanks for being with us.
Hang out with Greg, though. I think Greg's the ringer. We're going to have to talk.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Zoom call going, Skype meeting going on.
Yeah, we feel like he's just, now with this whole bag of hammers thing, we feel like he's just toying with us.
Yeah,
so.
he is.
We'll see.
We'll get back at him. We'll have to have a...
There's got to be somebody in the universe who can compete with Greg Weaver.
They can. We got to do all sports questions.
Yeah, exactly. There you
Way we
go.
can get him.
We'll see what you're made of, Greg Weaver.
These questions were rough. I think this is the lowest overall scores we've ever had in the game this week.
Oh, yeah. It was
Sports
very
will be his
competitive.
kryptonite.
Very competitive, yeah.
Yep.
Well, listen, thanks to our panelists. Anybody have a parting thought? We don't have any music tonight, but Christopher, any parting thoughts on the show?
I do. The people, viewers, and everybody out there, I'm on a web series called Ithaca. And it's written by Jay Saunders and directed and stars Jay Saunders. And the executive producer is Eduardo Sanchez, who wrote and directed the Blair Witch Project and Supernatural, and directs a lot of big shows that are out there. And we are pitching it to Netflix now. We've gotten a lot of success with the miniseries that is on Netflix on YouTube. So there's a pilot that's been written up now. And we're going to start filming that, and we're going to pitch it to Netflix, and hopefully that works out. So anybody that's interested in checking this out, look up Ithaca miniseries on YouTube. There's 4 chapters in season 1. They're only like 5 to 8 minutes long, but it's getting fantastic reviews, and it's really good. So
Ithaca. Ithaca.
Awesome, and I'll post that on the Community Media Facebook page so that everyone can take a look at that and check it out.
That's awesome.
Pete,
Hey,
anything in the public interest? Oh, sorry, Greg. I'm sorry.
If anybody's in Dillsburg this Saturday, swing by the Dollar General. The Cub Scouts are running a food drive there for our local food bank. So we like to outdo the Boy Scouts.
Very
Oh,
good.
wonderful.
Good work. Good work. Pete, anything going on?
No, it's pretty quiet, like I said in the beginning.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's
Quiet's
I like
good.
quiet in the municipality.
That's good. Quiet's good.
Quiet is good.
Good.
Well, listen.
Hey, you know, we are hiring at Paul's Transport. Owner-operators, drivers, come work for a local guy.
How do they get into contact? How do they contact you?
Yeah, just get on paulstransport.com and hit apply, or just contact us, give us a shout, and we'll get back to you. You know, we're all
Okay.
local work. We work with local companies for the most part, and let's keep it local. You know, keep helping each other out.
Beautiful.
And Keith, I can also post a link to that on the community media page. And Greg, I can post the Boy Scout thing.
That'd be great. I appreciate that.
Great.
Congratulations to all our contestants. A game well played. Are we allowed to talk about next week's show?
Next week's show.
We have Alex Hayes, the managing editor of the Gettysburg Times, has agreed to play trivia with us. So look forward to welcoming Alex to the set, and as many panelists as are able, and as many of you playing along at home.
So we will see you next week on Community Media Trivia.
Special thanks to Brandon Glorioso. Founder Ray Galker was here, and Mark Warely. Somebody said I don't give him enough love, so let's shout out for Mark Warely as well. And so for Pete Sox, Christopher Inlow, the champion once again, Greg Weaver, and our
Bag of
special
hammers.
guest, Keith Wolfie. Thanks again for being with us.
Thanks for being here.
Thank y'all. It's a lot of fun. Can't wait to do it again.
See you next week here on
Community
Trivia.
See ya.